Hey, what's going on, everyone? Today is April the 5th, 2022. Now, if you're already in tune into the financial market, I already know that you've heard about Elon Musk buying 9.2% stake into Twitter. It put the whole market into a frenzy for the Twitter space, especially for the Twitter market. You guys can see that the market has increased like 27% on trading in one day. The market closed up 27%. Just because Elon Musk bought a stake in Twitter. Now, we're going to try to figure out if we can actually tell at what point did he come through and buy those 73 million shares. Because you guys can see, once things hit the tape, once things hit social media and the financial news sector, you're kind of late. And could there be something on the chart that would have given us a heads up that the market in Twitter was about to go up, or that Elon was buying a stake? Because obviously he was doing it under the radar. And this is why I don't pay attention to see what these people are trying to do. I need to get ahead of him. We needed to make sure that we got ahead of Elon Musk, because under any pretenses of him coming out saying that he bought a stake in Twitter, you guys can see what the result would be. The market would go up exceedingly higher. So you want to be ahead of that wave and not be behind it. So check this out. I'm going to talk about that today as to how we can try to gauge to where these massive pocket winners of money is buying these stocks, so that we can participate right alongside with them, so that we can ride the wave higher in price. Welcome. This is HueFin, also known as HueFin News. This is what I do. I do the price prediction without the confusion. I make sure that you and I try to pinpoint where the buying is going on, so that we can get in position and ride the wave with everyone else. You guys appreciate it? Hit the like button, share the video, also subscribe to my channel, tap the bell notification as well. All right. So first of all, I'm going to talk about my last price prediction that I've done at Twitter. That's one thing that I do. I don't go through and try to hide my price prediction when it goes against me. I'll show you when I get it right, and also show when I get it wrong. So you guys can see that the last video that I've done for Twitter was all the way back here in December. Yeah. So it's been about what, 3 to 4 months. I was expecting the price in Twitter even then to go up in price, but look at that. The market has gone down massively, right? It went all the way down to 32. That's about 27% movement to the downside, right? Cool. I get it. You're not going to get every price prediction correct. But this one did go right, but it's all dependent on your time frame. If you was looking for the market in Twitter to go up in like a month, 2 months, yeah, I didn't get this right. But if you're looking for the market in Twitter to go up in the next 3 to 6 months, then so far I'm getting it right. So this one actually went basically right or wrong off of a time period, and I'll take the hit on both, right? 27%, or if I were to get out the market on the close of yesterday, I'll be up 13 right now, right? But okay, check this out. Let's really get to what you really clicked on the video for, okay? So now, the news broke yesterday that Elon Musk came through and has a 9.2 stake in Twitter now, right? And look at the reaction of the market in Twitter, right? So, okay, I want you all to notice something though about Elon, okay? He started asking real intriguing questions about Twitter right here, okay? Look at this. This was back on March 24th. He did a poll. Twitter algorithm should be open source, right? And overwhelmingly everyone said, yes, it should be. All right, cool. Next tweet. Look at this. And that was on March the 24th. The next tweet that he did that's kind of intriguing, that kind of lends you into saying that you might want to come through and buy Twitter. See, what I want you all to understand is that he was dropping hints that you might want to buy Twitter. And the first hint that he dropped was right there on March the 24th. That was a clue. The second clue was on March 25th, the next day. Look at this question. Free speech is essential to a functioning democracy. Do you believe Twitter rigorously adheres to this principle? Another poll. He also responded or replied to his own poll. The consequences of this poll will be important. Please vote carefully. It was on March the 25th. Wow. Another buy indicator. Seemingly like he's up to something, right? Look at that. March 26th, the third day. Is this another buy indication that he's trying to tell you to come through and buy Twitter? Given that Twitter serves as the de facto public town square, failing to adhere to free speech principles fundamentally undermines democracy. What should be done? March 26, he also replied to this own tweet. Is a new platform needed? 3 times he tweeted out about Twitter. 3. March 24th, March 25th, March 26th. All telling you that something may need to be done in Twitter. And then what do you know? Here it is, April the 4th. The news dropped on financial news websites, mainstream media, social media, went ballistic, went crazy that he bought 9.2 stake in Twitter. Wow. So he gave you a heads up that you might want to come through and buy Twitter. But check this out. The market only hit, or the news finally hit, because he filed with the SEC a Schedule 13G, right? Look at that. So the question is, Elon was already in the market when he initially started those tweets. He already bought his 9.23% of Twitter stock way before he started those tweets. But he wanted to lend towards acting like he was considering doing something about Twitter. But he already knew, because he already went through the process of buying the stock way before March 24th, way before March 25th, way before March 26th. He already purchased Twitter stock way before then. How do I know? Because look, the date of the event which requires filing of this statement occurred on March the 14th, 2022, right? March the 14th, 2022. Look at that, it's there. And you guys can see that he purchased 73 million, almost 73.5 million shares of Twitter stock, which gives him 9.2% stake in Twitter right there. So he bought a total of 73.5 million shares, right? Now, this report, this 13G, states that it occurred on March the 14th. But I tell you that he was doing it on multiple days. You want to know why? Because when you look at the volume that came through on March the 14th, right? Here it is. Scroll down to March the 14th. The volume that came through for Twitter was 17.5 million shares. That was it. That was the amount of volume that traded on that day. That doesn't equate to 73.5 million though, does it? No, it doesn't. So what it means is that in order to hide his hand, Elon Musk came in on multiple days and bought his shares. It just wasn't on one day. It was on multiple days in order to hide what he was doing. And that's the thing that I want everyone to understand and realize, is that these individuals who have massive amounts of money at their disposal, I will also include hedge funds and banking institutions, they have to hide what they're trying to do ultimately. Because if he came through in one day, it will cause massive alarms. We're like, look at what happened yesterday. The market went up 27% just because the news broke. So he had to act under the radar to hide what he really was doing. And he even tried to confuse you that he was considering buying Twitter when the whole time he already bought it. He bought it way before March the 14th. These tweets came out a couple of weeks later. See, when they come through and it starts hitting the wire, starts hitting, mainstream media, start hitting social media websites, it's already too late. I want you to understand that. So for him to come through and actually give us 3 days of speaking about Twitter, those were indications, those were signals that he was trying to drop to his community, his followers, that you might want to come through and buy the stock. Because once the news breaks, it's going to go up. So you had March 25th, March 24th, the price of Twitter was trading around $39. Even on March 25th, even on the 28th, it was trading around $39. So let's say that you took those tweets that Elon Musk talked about on those 3 days and you bought the stock, right? Let's say you did. You are already up 27%. Simple. Right? So to try to answer the question, when did he come through and buy the stock then? It had to be during this whole time period right here that he was buying the stock. And you can see it because in order to buy 73.5 million shares, there's nothing higher. When you go back to the website, right, and you follow, there's not a lot of days to where you can see 70 something million shares being traded in Twitter. On average, it looked like it's around 15, 16, 17, 20 million shares a day. So how could he come through and purchase 73 million shares? Exactly. He had to do it on multiple days. And it had to occur while the price in Twitter was being suppressed. And you did not even know it. This is why I focus in on the price chart. Because you can tell where the buyers were standing at the price. You can tell where people were not trying to let Twitter price fall low. And it was right here. This is the base. This is where the buyers came through. We saw on multiple occasions, maybe 4 times, to where the price in Twitter did not fall below $32. You have to pay attention to the price. This is why I don't focus in on what Elon Musk is tweeting about. This is why I don't focus in on what mainstream media is trying to relinquish on every daily basis. They're trying to give you the hottest take, the hottest tip, the hottest news. You need to be in the price. You need to be in the position way before it hits the streets so that you can capitalize from the move. So you saw it happen like 4 times. March the 14th, March the 8th, again on February the 24th, and the first time, January the 24th. That was the basis. So if you'd have bought the market in Twitter down here, you already are up 53%. This is how you're able to make fast money. It's by seeing what they're already doing. So now you got all this volume in Twitter, right? All of it. Look at it. I think it was around 268 million shares traded yesterday. 268 million, just because the market hit the street that he bought 9.2% stake in Twitter. 268 million shares. It brought the market back to life in Twitter. So now the question is, does this market still have legs? Can we still expect Twitter price to go up? All right. Because you guys can see we're now trading pretty close to where the market first traded when it started its trading in Twitter back in 2013. You see that? So what do you think? Is the market still up buying Twitter? Let's see. Because a lot of the market profitability was already wrung out yesterday on that 27% run up. And you're still going to find people that think Twitter is going to be a massive buy, right? Well, I'm here to tell you that we are already nearing restriction. Okay, we are already nearing a point to where the market and Twitter could not break above. Right there. It's around what, $54. Okay. Now I think we still have enough momentum to see the price in Twitter hit that level. My first issue would be 52 to 54. That is where I'm looking for the market sellers to really try to come in and push back down the price in Twitter. $52, $54. Like I said, you want to be here, down here, to really grab the bag, to really take the profitability out the market. You want it to be down there because the run up has already occurred. Now you got people that's really trying to rush in and purchase Twitter now, not knowing that we are already nearing some restriction points to where the sellers are going to try to push back down the price in Twitter. That's why it's important for you to get ahead of the game. That's why I come through and do price predictions. Okay, so now I'm going to play the strength into the market in Twitter though, but it's not going to be that bullish. Only to $52 first, which gives us around 4%. I would say 52 to 54. That would be my first area of profitability. That gives us 8%. My second area, it's going to be up here towards like 56. Okay. Now, that has to be maintained. Right there around 44. Okay. The market price in Twitter will have to stay above $44 in order for us to really see this market maintain the ability to go up. Okay. So I still think we got a little bit left to nibble off of this play before we start to see some selling come through the market in Twitter and the market tries to lower its price. All right. So now let me put it back over to the daily time frame so you all can see what we're working with. Make sure we follow the price, because now the question is, what is Elon Musk going to do? He led that poll. He came out with a couple of tweets trying to say that he's trying to make some changes occur in Twitter, but what is his true agenda? Right? If he came through after the fact trying to act like he's considering doing something with Twitter when he already came through and made his decision way beforehand, what do you really think his intentions are? Yeah, drop me a comment, let me know. All right, so that's it. Real quick, tell me your price prediction, your price target. Tell me, what do you think the ultimate idea of Elon Musk buying a stake in Twitter is going to do? What is he really up to? Let me know, all right? Make sure you maintain a profitability. And as always, trade different.